Hi, my name is Ander Pang. Welcome to another edition of CMS Forex News. Today is Tuesday, May 20th, 2008. The Reserve Bank of Australia released its minutes from the May 8th interest rate decision. They noted that inflation will remain high, but would decline if the recent slowdown is sustained. The upside risk is that expectations for high ongoing inflation could affect wage-setting behavior. The bank admitted that they spent considerable time discussing an interest rate hike. The Australian dollar continued its climb against the US dollar, boosted by the hawkish minutes and general greenback weakness in the markets overnight. In Japan, policymakers held rates at 0.50% and released their monthly monetary policy report. In it, they mentioned slowing growth as a result of high energy and materials prices. Specifically, exports growth and industrial output are weakening. In this environment, the bank is expected to hold rates steady for the rest of the year. Swiss producer prices came in higher than forecasted for April. Prices were up 0.7% on the month and 3.6% on the year. The annual rate in April was slower than March's, but still above expectations. In a comparison of the two countries' currencies, the producer inflation data helped spur a Swiss franc rally against the yen. The franc-yen pair climbed about 100 pips from its overnight low prior to the release and reached resistance at the 100 level. Producer prices in Germany accelerated at the fastest annual rate in nearly 2 years, up 5.2% for April. On the month, producer inflation rose 1.1%. The economy continues to digest high energy prices. Higher inflation will curb consumers' appetites and keep the European Central Bank on the defensive. In a second release, investor sentiment in Germany deteriorated slightly. This surprised forecasts, which called for an improvement. The ongoing slowdown in the U.S. and the consequences on German exports, a stronger euro, and on high inflation were all concerns. For the Eurozone as a whole, sentiment did improve, and by a larger degree than forecasts. In the U.S., overall producer prices cooled in April, though the core figures showed higher than expected readings. On the month, overall prices were up 0.2% as food and energy prices eased. Core prices almost doubled expectations, coming in at 0.4%. On the year, the headline figure slowed to a rate of 6.5%. Core prices, however, rose to 3% from 2.7%. The 3% annual increase in core prices was the fastest pace since 1991. The euro-dollar pair recovered yesterday's losses and climbed above 1.5670 as of 12 p.m. Eastern. The euro was bolstered by the higher-than-expected German prices, while the U.S. inflation data came in softer than expected. The pair is now on a 5-session uptrend, which started last Wednesday. As mentioned earlier, there was a general sense of dollar weakness today. Oil prices surged to a new record, above $129 a barrel, and stocks were down in New York trading. The pound-dollar pair climbed 200 pips from its open, extending those gains in the New York session. As of noontime in New York, U.S. stocks were on the ropes, with the Dow Industrials down 200 points. Concerns about the high cost of oil, increased producer costs, sluggish retail sales, and a Fed that looks to be moving to the sidelines were all factors that pressured stocks. The dollar-yen pair, which has a strong correlation with stocks, declined, reaching 103.45. In Canada, wholesale sales increased 0.6% in March, better than forecasted and rebounding from 1.8% decrease in February. A second report showed foreign purchases of Canadian stocks increased to 5.3 billion Canadian dollars, also stronger than expected. The US dollar-Canadian dollar pair declined further today, touching 0.9870, though the greenback managed to pair those losses in New York trading. Tonight, Australia reviews its consumer sentiment. Overnight, Germany posts its IFO Business Climate Index. The UK will release Bank of England minutes and government borrowing figures. Tomorrow, Canada posts its consumer price data and its leading index. The only US release on tap is the minutes from the latest FOMC meeting. That wraps up the day in Forex News. Join us again tomorrow right here at cmsfx.com. Until next time, happy trading.